So guys, let's get present real quickly, make a couple agreements so that we have a completely productive time here together. Let's get present first. So take your attention right to the center of your chest, right where your heart lies, and 3 breaths into there at the count of 3 in and 3 out. Okay, let's make a time commitment. I have till 12:50 EST. I would like to, my goal would be to hear from almost everybody. I'm going to go quick from everybody. So if you guys can pull out a piece of paper and a pen, I'm going to give you 2 questions that I'm going to ask. And then if you can just write down the questions, and then in the chat box, put the answer to those questions. And I'm going to pick people. I'm going to start picking people that I think that their answers would be beneficial for all to hear as well. And I'm going to go down the line that way. So the first question is a basic question. What is the greatest challenge you're facing in your business right now? The second question is, now a lot of you guys know me pretty good, so I expect some really good answers to this one. If I was to come to your office and observe you for a week, what would I tell you to either stop doing or start doing? If I was to come and sit in your office for a week and observe you, what's the one thing, the most important thing that I would say, hey, listen, stop this or start doing this, and it's going to make a gigantic leap in your life and business? When you start getting those answers, if you can put the answers in the chat box, and then I'm going to go through the chat box and well, Jenny, let's go to you though, because you're first on there, and just in the interest of time, I'm going to try to get, as I said, I want to try to get to everybody. So Jenny, you're first in there. Let's go to that one, because I want to hear about that a little bit.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Can you feel my vibe?
I can. I want to hear. I don't fully get it from the. That's what I need to hear, right? Yeah. So can you tell me about that?
I am. I feel like I'm right on the edge of feeling like I'm about to hit a wall. I'm doing all my morning stuff. If I wasn't, I would have already jumped off the cliff. So like there's benefit there for what I'm doing for sure. Yep. But I still feel like we have, and I always hate to say this because I never want to feel like bragging. That's not where it's coming from. Is we have so much coming at us right now. Yep. Connie and I we can't handle it. With excellence. And so I'm at the point now where, is it because our systems aren't solid? I feel like they are. Is it because there's just too much and 2 of us can't do it? Is it because I don't know. Is it because we're trying to do too much to impress our clients that we need to let some of it go? This, what we've been feeling for the last 2 weeks isn't sustainable.
Okay. So let's work from that. If you were a coach for you, what would you be saying right now?
I would say I probably need to look at our process and make sure there's not extra stuff in there that we could get rid of to help with capacity. I would say we need to look at both me and Connie and make sure we're being efficient in what we're doing.
So 2 things come to mind. That I don't know the answer to this, but what holds you back from hiring somebody else, another Connie?
Well, for me, it's a timing thing. Connie was working for me and Kim until 3 weeks ago. Right. And so now she's really just working for me, but she's also been training Kim's person. So that could be part of the time part.
Okay.
So for me, it's waiting that out and seeing how much Connie and I can handle, just the two of us. I don't know that we've given it enough time to even know if I need somebody else. But I feel like thinking about hiring somebody else is jumping the gun.
Okay. Try this one on. Let's see how this feels.
Okay.
Are you okay saying that you're at capacity to one of your referral partners or to a new lead, and to refer that to Kim Venable or somebody else on your team, Rick, something like that, to help out until you get through that? Because really, when you hit these stretches, there's two things that you can make a decision on. You can say, and I'll tell you what I always did. You can say, I'm at capacity, and come from a place of abundance right there. I'm at capacity right now. And it's very important to me to keep the service levels to every existing client that I have, and I'm not going to compromise on my service levels. I would not recommend compromising on service levels.
Okay.
But I'm at capacity, so I've got a bright young woman named Kim Venable, or I got a rock star Rick Mel, wherever. I got Deanna, whatever. It looks like you got some people there, and then get back on your feet right there, or you make the decision to service it all, and for a season that can work, but I don't recommend that for anybody long term.
Right. Yeah, no, I don't want to work that much long term. Yeah, I'm totally fine giving it away. That's Connie and I just got off the phone. That was one of the things I said to her is some of this I might just have to give away. That doesn't just affect me anymore. That affects her.
Yeah. And you're being a good leader by bringing her into that conversation, because
right.
Again, what I just said is a great conversation to have with her. There's two ways that we can handle this. Let's have a conversation about it. We can say we're at capacity right now, and this is where we're going to give one, or we can both choose to work nights and weekends for the next 30 to 60 days.
Nope,
I don't like that one, but I'm not
doing that.
But sometimes if people have financial constraints or something, right? And I know you don't, but sometimes it makes sense for somebody to say, I'm going to work overtime, but then I would recommend having a real good upper limit until you have more capacity. I can do 12 loans a month, whatever your capacity is, and feel really good about that decision.
I think the hard part for me is the loans that are turned in for contract, they're good. It's not, it's the pre-approval process right now. Like, I think when we look, we've gotten about a little over 50 leads in so far in January. Mm-hmm. And over 35 of those has already made application, and Connie's getting pre-approvals out on them. So it's like, I'm comfortable closing 12 a month or more. It's fine. It's just it's the beginning part that I feel like is swallowing us whole right now.
Well, but that's part of the deal, right? So Jenny, like I don't have a sense. I just prodded you in a couple different ways. I don't have a sense that you're at a place right now where you're going, dude, I'm going all in on a junior LO right now, so that can take it from the second that we, so from pre-approval to closing, right? That you have somebody. I don't sense that you're there, and I know you well enough now too that if I'll try two different. I tried two different ways. Like, I'll flip it here and then flip it here, and then I'm like, so if you're set in a way, then I would say you're just not open to it yet. I'm always going to be pushing you to be open to it long term. That's always what I'm going to do. But in the short term, then I think a really good solution is to have a top end number. I think you guys have heard my story on this. Well, the people that are Fairway that know Jake, in March of 2009, I locked 46 loans, and I looked down at my phone and I saw it was his cell phone number, and I'm like, dude, he's calling to congratulate me. Yeah, baby. Locked the most in this whole big company this March, right? I closed Deryck, and he was like, stop now. You are not allowed to lock another loan, and I'm serious. Put them on 60-day locks. You close 23 right now, and 23, you don't have the capacity. You don't have the team built for this yet. And then I was like, bye. And I was like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah, we've even talked about, like, we've identified which ones are causing us, that are taking the most time and energy to. Like, it seems like showing up on social media the way I have. I've gotten all these agents that want to meet for lunch and refer us deals, and I'm thankful for that. But what I'm getting from them is not the caliber of client that I get from my normal referral sources. And so like there were 3 this week. I mean, I might do 1 USDA on a year, right? There were 3 this week that they wanted to look at USDA and North Carolina housing, which is down payment assistance.
Let me give you a dialogue with this. I'm serious about this one. Okay. I want to refer to you somebody that specializes in this loan. It's at least
that's in Virginia, what Connie and I just talked about.
In Virginia, it was a double underwrite. I don't know what it is in North Carolina. And then I would just say, hey, listen, I want to make sure that you are serviced the best. Those are different loans than I do. So I'm going to refer you to a specialist in this loan.
Yeah.
These are all the dialogues, Jenny, like, and this goes for every single one of you guys. This is a conversation for every single one of you guys. Jenny's a perfect example. You do our system over time through the compounding effect. You will have that problem. This is going to happen to each and every single one of you. So I want you guys to hear this now. It happened to me. And I did this system to 111 million. I'm seeing it right now. Jenny, she's been very faithful to it. Winning the day. It's going to happen to everyone. The key for you moving forward is building a team, but also knowing who you serve and saying no to the people that you don't. No becomes your best friend in these environments. It's no, it's not yes. And no, you were just elevate. So you get one. No comes from a place of service, not a place of pleasing, right? So yes, I can be all things to everybody is a pleasing thing. That's not a serving thing. Mm-hmm. Serving is, I don't have the time to allocate to a double underwrite right now. It's so important to me that you get the best service. And so I'm going to refer you to this person.
Now. Yeah. If they're new agents, I'm totally fine doing that. Connie and I just talked about who would that be? You know, who's good in our office with those? If we do that though, and it's a new agent, am I giving up the opportunity to work with a good agent?
Well, this is where you have to work on your mind. The answer is no. You have to live in abundance there. Okay. And this is a shift for you. And I'm going to say it like this, Jenny, and you're not going to like me, but here's
that's okay. I can take it.
That is that you need to do it with everybody, even your existing agents. A USDA loan for you in this environment is not your loan. I'm just shooting you straight. You do what you want with it, but it's not your loan.
Okay.
You've got to, as you grow, because you're going to keep growing. You have to know who you serve. I'm not kidding. By the end, it was like $400,000 loan amount, 720 credit score, 25% down, full doc, W-2, right? Like that's who I became. And then I had on my team, then I had, 681, 5% down MI, right? Like by the end, I was like, I'm not even doing MI. Like I can't, like you can't really, but you can have people on your team or you refer them. So that's the choice you make over time.
Okay. That's helpful. Thank you.
Yeah. I want you to consider the team though, down the road, because I know you want to service everybody, but having somebody on your team that's a USDA specialist is a great job title for somebody too down the road.
Yeah. I've thought about that. Even when Kim and I had everything together, we had talked about it'd be nice to have one person that just helps our first time home buyers and our people that want
that's what I did.
3 or 4 products there that's
what I did. And then Melissa Okerzinski. Well, I'd like to introduce you to Melissa Okerzinski. She's on my team, so we still get the same service levels, but she is a specialist in this right now. Hey, Melissa, can you come over here? I want to introduce you to Jenny Stoner, who's needed.
Yeah.
That was my dialogue at the end.
I'm not ready for that yet, but I'll entertain it down the road.
I know, but I'm here just to speak my truth, so you know that.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, Aubrey. I don't know if she hears me. Oh. And Shane, I'm coming to you next. I want to hear yours too. Aubrey, you hearing me? If she's driving, we might not be able to.
I hear you. I'm on mute.
Okay.
Sorry.
What's your greatest challenge right now, or what would I say to you if I was to sit in your office?
So I'm going to start with I feel a challenge for me.
Hey, Aubrey, I'm not hearing you. It's coming in really tight. Will you be in a place in like 5 or 10 minutes?
20 minutes. So I'll just mute myself and then we can come back.
Awesome. Yeah, cool. Shannon Donovan.
Okay, cool.
What's your greatest challenge right now?
So my greatest challenge is all of this travel I've planned with this change of company and not having a licensed assistant.
Oh.
So I'm definitely getting my head around how I'm going to make it happen.
How long are you going to Costa Rica for?
So that'll be a 9-day trip. And then behind that, we have Alaska, and behind that, we have Lake Powell.
I mean, I hate what I'm about to say, but I can only tell you what I did in those situations is I would time block out 2.5 hours in the morning, and I worked.
It's funny. Well, I'm thinking two things. And you tell me what your feedback is on this. One is to tell my team I'm available an hour a day. That's it. So really limit them.
Yep.
And I don't know if it's going to be morning or if it's going to be night. It could be 10 o'clock at night. Could be, because luckily we're on the same time zone. And I'm thinking about reaching out to Terry, since he's with Geneva, even though he's in California, just see if he would help me with my leads coming in. Because he's really good at loan structure. I've had lots of good conversations with him. And then he and I just work out a side deal.
I mean, those are both good options. The only thing I don't like about option one is I would encourage you to pick an hour that you tell them that you're available instead of, I'm not sure if it's morning or night. Because if you can project out your trip and you can say, here is the hour that I can do this on each time, save it up the night before, save it up in the morning. Let's go white on rice.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I'd love to tell you that. And you can have a conversation with Terry too about it, but I'd love to tell you that in that situation, for me, it was always the morning. I would do a 2-hour time block from let's say 9 to, or 8:30 to 10:30 or something like that.
My husband loves to go. So that's why I'm not structuring. I'm just trying to get my head around the whole thing, because he could throw.
Night could work too. Yeah.
He's like, get up at 8 and let's get in the car and go. And then we don't get back until 9 o'clock that night.
Well, the fun part about it is that now you get to project out down the road and make sure that you structure your team, that you always have coverage for this.
Right.
That's the fun part.
In the past, my sister-in-law, who's an originator too, we've always worked with the same companies, and now we don't. So that was super easy before. Now it's not. So well,
for all you guys, I'm listening to, Jenny and you two and this and all the, as you guys grow too, quality of life has to be put into the equation.
Yeah.
It has to be. And so it's not a cost equation anymore when you have teammates too. So having somebody licensed on your team, you guys need peace of mind and quality of life so that you can do this stuff too. All right. Because even for you, Shannon, I want you to make a lot more money, but even if you made the same money with having the peace of being off on vacation, that's worth it. Right.
And in the past, I've said, my email says, go to my website, fill out an online application, and we'll get back to you whenever we can for this week. I mean, I've done that. And I said, I'm going to lose business, and I was okay with it. So
that's a great way to do it. It's the same kind of conversation too with Jenny too. Be okay. Honestly, I use that a lot too. Totally okay losing business.
Because the break is absolutely too precious.
And it is. And that's what I mean is quality of life has to be the driver once you become successful, because the only thing that'll hold you back is burnout. And when you start getting to your guys' level, right? That's the only thing. And then in burnout, it manifests itself in either, exhaustion and all that stuff, or resentment, which is even worse, right? Then you start resenting the very business that you've done that's doing it. I could see that happen to Jenny a little bit. I don't sense the same thing with you, Shannon, but your time off is it's such a big why for you. And so honoring that is huge.
Yeah. And I'm getting to the point now where my kids are at the age where these are the last trips. It'll be just us, where we won't have a significant other in the play, or, because the kids, start to bring girlfriends and boyfriends and whatnot. This is where I get to hoard them to myself.
Yeah, I understand. I'm at 14 and 12. I've got my countdown going now too. So I hear you.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Honor that. And it's kind of the same, similar with Jenny, no or very structured time.
Mm-hmm.
And and be okay. You guys are perfectionists too, but be okay that it might not be perfect too. Dude, this is not a time to be over promising anything. I use that a lot too. Yeah, we close in 45 days here at the Deryck Cheney Mortgage Company. I mean, I really think, oh, that doesn't work for you? Okay, I can refer you to somebody that does. You know, I would use those tricks too in there.
What I've done in the past, and I know I just have to get really diligent next week, that next week's all focused on calling everybody who's pre-approved in the pipeline, ready out shopping. They have everything that they need to make an offer without me.
Yep.
And their agents. So that's my plan.
It's a good plan. Let me know how it works.
I
will. Bobby McGinn.
Good afternoon or morning, depending on where you are.
Afternoon, yeah, for me, afternoon, but go ahead.
All right, so which or answer both? Or?
Well, let me try and shake it loose, but start with the challenge.
So I got a few, but I think right now the biggest difference maker for my business would be getting my LOA fully trained and up to speed. She was new to the business. She's done an excellent job and has been a very fast learner, like I expected. But I'm just now starting to teach her structuring and pricing. And I think that's a several month process.
Okay, let me help you out with that. Are you recording every conversation you have?
No, and I just watched one of the videos again yesterday and about the process and just recording everything to build a training.
Do not make it like this isn't even remotely negotiable. Do not speak about anything training related unless it's recorded and you have a YouTube channel that she can go back and look at. Pricing, Jenny's a USDA loan, right? Like pricing a USDA loan, and then it's in there because she or he needs to have that information at their fingertips. I don't care how smart you are. It's a foreign language when you're trying to hire a new person. It is a freaking foreign language. And you got to approach it like that too, because the mistakes in these business are not little mistakes, especially when you talk about pricing, right? Like that's the last one for me that I'd be like, oh. So, having that, like, do this on every single price deal, and then go back and check this, and this, and then have that recorded in her thing is paramount. And the other thing is, as you grow now you have an asset, you have a training library.
Yeah.
So do not do that. That's not even remotely negotiable. Everybody's like, I don't want to push the button to record. And I'm like, oh my God, save yourself. Like this will change everything. Right. Or think about like losing a loan on pricing or having to pay $5,000 because somebody made a mistake on pricing.
Yeah. Yeah. And what you're suggesting there is recording the screen, right?
Recording the screen, but talk over the screen, right? Like, so what I have with everything that I do with you guys.
Cool.
Okay. What would be like, so if I came and mirrored you, I'm curious on you. If I came and mirrored you, what would be the one thing I would tell you to start or stop doing?
Probably just get out of the office. And that's going to come with time. The more and more Amy, my LOA does get up to speed, and the more comfort I have with her, then I'll be able to get out. But I still think I could benefit from getting out and just getting in front of people more. Fortunately, I did fairly well my first year without really having to do that, without doing a lot of that. I think the system you teach and our marketing efforts and social media certainly contributes to that. But I think I do well in front of people, one-on-one, and I could really benefit from just maintaining relationships.
Yeah, and I don't want anybody to lose the sight of the fact that I'm like Wednesdays. I did a live event last week. I went. So I'm not against anything live. Really, what we teach is always it's supplemental, and It's getting the touches in, right? Like getting touches in a lot quicker, more in a highly leveraged way. But yeah, for you guys that are great live too, I'm not suggesting to anybody that you sit in front of your computer only. I don't do that. I make sure that I get live too, but that's kind of the Wednesday part of the system. Cool. Do you feel okay, Bobby?
Yeah. I know what opportunities I have.
Okay, cool. Deanna.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. The obstacle is really just the fear that comes up in regard to rates. Like, it doesn't help that the market's shifting and rates are going up.
Or
and when you're talking to people and it's like, well, so-and-so said X and I got a quote online and that brings up fear.
Yeah.
And I lost one deal, but I was brought in at the last minute as a competitive quote. And so I lost it over an eighth. I wasn't worried about that, but it was the fear that I recognized in myself because I knew I should have had the deal if I'd gotten them first. So that's my fear right now. And that creates a challenge because you obsess about it. And,
well, you can, but you know me well enough now too, so you got to shift that. It creates a challenge because you obsess about it. I don't obsess about it, but maybe you obsess about it, right? And then you can say, I'm discovering how to not obsess about a raising rate environment. I will tell you this. It's not fun to hear this, but it's the truth. Raising rates is you guys are increasing market share. When rates start going up, people start falling out of the business. All the marginal LOs, they start falling out of the business. I've showed you guys my, 2010 was 111 million. The only reason I got that was because of 08. That's the only reason. There's no chance that I would even come close to that without 08. Now, nobody wants to hear that, but if you can think long-term on your business, a raising rate environment is the best thing for your business. Your market share is going up. You don't even realize it. People are getting out of the business. Is that fair?
Yeah. It's like you just have to keep reminding yourself.
I have to.
Yeah.
I have to.
So
I'm discovering how to stay in abundance.
I do work on it every day.
Yeah, I know you have. I've seen big shifts. Is that what I would tell you if I was to come mirror you for a week? Stay in abundance?
I kind of live there. I do this, but I don't do that.
Okay.
To mirror me for a week, you'd be like, get off of your desk, get off of your email, get off of being distracted by butterflies, and I have to remind myself this. I have a list of people I need to touch, and so my challenge is as the list gets bigger, the older ones get harder to go back and touch.
Yeah.
And it's just you can call it time blocking, but it is. Need it now, and then move on.
Yeah, it's a mental thing like this. Instead of looking at the list or staying in your mind at all, I'm going to do one right now. Mm-hmm. That's the shift, right? Because we all do that in our lives. Like, oh my God, I got it, and then that shuts us down. The overwhelm feeling just shuts us down, and the list keeps growing. So, yeah, the shift, the upper level shift is, I'm going to do one right now till it's done. I'll deal with the next one. I'm not even going to think about the next one. I'm going to deal with that one right now. I'm just going to do it. Right? The suffering and the pain that we have is always in our head about it and our thoughts around it. So hopefully, was that helpful?
Yeah. That's awesome. Just reminding myself constantly that I'm burying myself. It isn't real.
That's right. I give you a lot of credit, Deanna. You made some gigantic strides. So keep it up though. Okay. Like it keeps getting better. So keep it up. Julie. I'm not hearing you.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Now you are. Now, yep. Got you.
Awesome. I think our biggest challenge is we work really hard to get leads and we don't have a great system for follow-up. So we're losing business. Like, I know we're losing business, but we've not done anything to stop it.
Who owns the follow-up system here?
Between me or Roger?
No, I'm asking the other people. Like who can jump in right here and say, do this, it will change the game.
For us, it's a really good CRM. And then not just having it, but actually using it every day.
Well, that's the thing. We have a CRM too, and we've used Pipedrive, and we don't. I don't know why, but we're getting in our own way.
So there's the crux of it right there. It usually does always come down to us. So I think that an interesting question is what holds you back from being the best at follow-up? What holds you back? And this goes for Roger too. What holds you back?
I guess we haven't made it a priority. I mean, that we need to change the way we look at that and make it, we spend a lot of time and effort to get the leads, but we're not doing what we need to do. It's on us for sure. And we need to change the way we think about that.
Do you feel like that you're at a line in the sand where you can make a commitment to being the best at lead generator and the best at lead follow-up?
Absolutely.
Do you feel like that, Roger?
Yeah.
Okay. Usually comes from the mental shift, or at least the mental shifts when I do something like that is, I'm going to be world class at this. But it comes from that kind of shift first. Mm-hmm. And then from that, it's very easy for me to suggest Pipedrive as a great follow-up tool, right, in an application. But if you don't, Jenny just nailed it. There's no CRM or app or whatever that's going to make it awesome for you. It has to come from a commitment with you then, and then you can use technology to help. Is that fair?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Julie, one thing we started doing that helped me a lot is we carve out 30 minutes every other day. Actually, we do Tuesday, Thursday, where we sit down and we go through those leads in our CRM, everyone that's come in, everyone that's under pre-approval, and we talk about them because we forget. Like that's what I was doing before I got on this call. And I'm like, I have no idea who that person is.
We do that.
We do that too.
Carving that out to sit down with somebody and go through that together was really life-changing for us. And then we didn't just talk about reaching out to them while we met. We actually did it while we met. I'm like, I would rather you spend an extra 2 minutes of my time and let's just do it right now. So we email them and follow up, or reach out to the agent and follow up while we're in that meeting. And that's helped us.
Yeah, we've actually had agents call us and say, what about this person? I remember there was an issue. Where are we at with it? And it's like we don't even remember who the person that we're supposed to be following up with.
I like your advice, so that's awesome.
That feels great, doesn't it? When you're like, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's super embarrassing.
So I'll give you, and I also want to take this conversation to a little bit different place too. That this also, when I use the word world class, is getting impeccable with your language when you get a lead right away. What is your system, and what is the way that you speak to them about what they need to do next right now? And if they don't do that, then that's where you go back to the agent then.
And you had
go ahead, Rod.
You had mentioned something about this before, and what you would do is you would put it on them to reach out after they took care of that. So I've done that. And if they don't get back to me, and then the agent calls me and says, well, where are they with this? Well, they haven't gotten back to me with the resolution of their issue.
So what I would encourage you to do is to not be reactive with the agent right then.
Okay.
So what I would encourage you to do is to do what I just said right then. If they don't get back to you on the timetable that you exactly set back to them, I go right to the agent right now. Just to let you know, I reached out, I did this, and this one. They did not get back to me on this. So can you make a call to them right now to help them do that and to get them over the fence? And then what happens is over time, your referral partners learn your system, but you have to be the leader with it. Okay. So you guys might know Roberta. She's in this group. She's a good one to ask about it. She knew exactly what my system was. So she told them. this guy's awesome. He will take care of you. You have to do this, 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 and this in here. And then she would introduce us. I would do that. If they didn't do it, it was right back to her as quick as possible. Hey, I want to let you know, I reached out and I said everything. They did not show up for it, or they did not do this stuff. So until I hear anything further, I'm going to go ahead and shelve this right now. If you want to get on them, I can do that. Is that fair? Yeah. You see how much more powerful and leader that is than reactive, like, I don't know, I don't remember. Right. And then they're like, oh my God, I don't have confidence in you as much. So being a leader in the sales process is paramount for all of you guys. This is what we do. This is how we do it. They did not do it. Hey, I want to let you know, Roberta, or whoever, that they did not do this. I'm going to be shelving this. And, but if you want to reach out to them, I'm still available. Thank you so much for the referral.
Hey, Deryck, I remember you saying too that you would CC the agent when you made that request, which I thought was
always
cool, then you have that connection too.
Always. I was bringing that whole thing in, and it was, you know, you're never going to, once you get that email, there's never going to be a better time than right then. And so the minute that you get that, that's the time that your process kicks in, and you lead right from that very moment right then. This is what we do. I need this to do. And if they start falling off your radar right then too, I just would bring the agent right back in, but then they would go into a different pile for me, right? Like no, again, grain of salt, this was when I was really busy at the end. So I get it. If you're not as busy right now, you want to be riff-raffing a little bit, but you guys are all going to get to a point where this is what we do here. This is how we do it. And that's as best as I can do. Like, you know, I can, over time, you can't be a dock chaser and you just can't. You don't have enough time. There's no way to do volume.
Julie, for me, like CRMs bog me down. They bog my brain down. I use them for like during the transaction and post-closing, but not the upfront. That's just how I personally do it. And again, this lead tracker form we got through this group has been amazing. What I do is I just see the pink highlights. Those are the ones that are pre-approved. Those are my yeses. The other ones are no. So at the end of the week, I just look at this and I'm like, all right, who did I not love this week that has a pink dot, and make sure. And then I go back to December and make sure if they're not under contract yet or whatnot. And I found that if it's just really simple, I can crank through it because the phone number's right here, their name and their phone number's right here. And I can just go ding, 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 ding. And then the ones I can't remember their story, Roger, then I only have like a few of those. I'm like, oh yeah, what was their story? And then I go to their file and I can figure it out. But I can get 10 calls.
Was that helpful, Julie and Roger?
Yes.
Okay,
absolutely.
Good. Excuse me. Jonathan Wilson. And Aubrey, I'm coming to you next. I feel like you're getting close.
What's that?
I just telling Aubrey, I feel like
I'm good. Whenever you guys, I'm good.
I'm going to come to you next. Yeah, so Jonathan Wilson.
Okay.
All right. So my biggest struggles, I'm on the struggle bus right now with, like ever since I got back from Elevate, man, like business is just like bam. And I'm still a new company. I'm learning the processes. I'm like completely scatterbrained right now. I'm trying to keep up with everything and also learn how to lock a loan here, right? Or do disclosures or something. So that's where I'm struggling. And just with time blocking on things that I need to be doing that I just can't seem to get to. Like right now, even in this meeting, my brain's just freaking out because I've got all these things to do right after we hang up, right? But I think if you were here looking at what I'm doing, I think you would tell me that, well, I just need to focus on one thing at a time, basically, and just turn off the distractions and just buckle down and do one thing at a time.
And you nailed it. So you've been with us a long time, so you know me pretty well. But that's exactly, if I was sitting there and I sensed any panic in anybody, I would go like this: deep breath, how we start everything. 3 in, 3 out. Let's get present. Now, pick one and complete. Do the most important. Do it all the way till it's complete. And then at that moment, then you don't do anything until that moment. Pick the next one. That's the most important. Do it all the way till it's complete. and then pick the next one. The scatterbrain stuff is stuff, Jonathan, that everybody deals with in here. But this is the stuff why we spend so much time on your minds and things of that nature. That's why we're always going back to mindset too,
Right.
because you can improve in this category. I was not good at this in the beginning. I was your typical ADD LO officer. I started like that. So, it took me a long time to learn that, but mindfulness and meditation and those things that we talk about helped ginormously for me. And it does get better, but the method is complete one at a time.
Yeah.
And you being relatively new in the business and where you are right now too, it's going to be tough too. You might want to just give your wife a heads up that you're going to be a little bit crazy for
I think she figured that out.
Honey, I'm going to be a little bit nuts here for a little bit. The other thing is take the advice I was talking about with Shannon and Jenny too. Don't be scared to say I'm a new LO, 5 loans a month at a new company is a lot, and I'm going to honor that too. Again, you have to be in abundance to do that, but I can't recommend it for you guys enough, because that is true when you've gotten to abundant and you can say, this is my capacity. I'm going to honor that. I'm going to be growing, as we grow, I'm going to be building teams and things of that nature. But right now I'm not going to go crazy. I'm just going to make that choice. And this is my capacity.
Thank you for saying that. That actually helps a lot, because I had a meeting with the sales leader here yesterday, and I feel like there's a lot of pressure on me to get my pipeline built, and so I'm taking on loans that probably wouldn't prefer to have, but yet I feel obligated to get some stuff in the pipe, and obviously I want to grow.
Well, dude, it's the same thing with you. Like, even it's serve, don't please. A sales manager's job description almost is to try to get more out of you. That's what their job description is almost. Right? Like, my job description is try to get you to do more than you are. That's your thing. And it is not your job to please that person. And they don't want to hear this, and I don't care. I don't care. I really don't. I speak like that. Like the CEO last week came up to me and was like, can you leave off some of these little things in your speech? And I was like, no, I can't, because I got to speak my truth and my allegiance to the LO. I don't know what to tell you, kid. But here's the truth. What serves them is you being a productive long-term employee that grows at a nice growth rate. That's what serves your sales manager. That's what serves all management. And sometimes we have to give those people grace too. Like, I get it. They want their boat payment quicker.
Yeah.
Guess what? I don't care about your boat payment. It doesn't impact me. Shooting you straight, dude. And but you see how I'm not even apologizing for that? I'm just shooting you straight, because what does serve you is that I'm a productive employee, a long-term productive employee.
Right. No, that's great. Thank you.
But I already bought my boat, man. I don't care. Eat it, dude. Leave me alone. That's how I talk to people. That's how I talk. Cool. Aubrey.
Hey guys. Okay, so I had 2 thoughts. My feeling is that I feel that technology is my biggest challenge, and that is going to make all of this difference in my business, which I know is not necessarily true. But I do understand that it would help me. I still don't even know how to use Zoom. With you guys, I do, but I don't know how to set it up. I haven't set up BombBomb. I mean, so just those things. Maybe I make excuses, and maybe it's just maybe it's not that big of a deal. But I guess I don't embrace it like I should, and I do want to have a better attitude about it and learn it. So I think that would help me a lot as far as my time with clients. I mean, you're driving. I've got, I'm in a different office now, and so it's further away from my house. And anyway, just maximizing better time. And then I think my other challenge is setting boundaries.
Let's go to, those are 2 different things. Okay. first one, I'll tell you what, Aubrey, you know what I hear in there is I'm ridiculously hard on myself about things. Like, so like, I that's what I was hearing in there, just in your language. Yeah, really? I really was. I was hearing, Kai, I put so much pressure on myself, and I need to, and then you're not performing to the standard that you've set for yourself, and you're not giving yourself grace. So I hear that. Now let's get to the tactical side. It's rarely a tactical thing, because it is the most hilarious thing in the world when I look at me and people put me on a pedestal for being a social selling leader and the technology guy. I'm like, oh my God. But it's just like Zoom becomes really easy when you are like, I want more time. I want to impact people better. You know, like you have to attach the why there, like, so that the tech of Zoom is very easy to overcome. It takes 30 minutes the first time when you do it, maybe not even that, 15. And because you want to stop driving all over the place, but you want to still have a face-to-face interaction. Like,
absolutely. Yeah, that's exactly why. I mean, I pretty much insist that every first-time home buyer that I meet with them in person, this would alleviate that. I mean, you know, you're talking an hour and a half or 2 hours because they've got so many questions, which it's just getting back some time. Because I still want to have that experience for them, but I think they'd be totally cool with it. So
and then they would be I know Jenny uses it a lot. Does anybody else use it a lot? Like, can anybody give her any like pump up speech on it?
As far as Zoom meetings go with your clients?
Yeah.
I mean, they're phenomenal. Like, I had 2 meetings this week with clients who ended up like kind of shopping me anyways, but they came back to me even if I couldn't quite match their rate. They appreciated the time that I spent with them over this thing. And these are clients that are like 2 hours away from me. So like, I gave them more attention than their local people did. Right. And
totally.
While they're moving forward with me. So it really is effective.
Yeah. And I think I want you to hear from my language too, for all of you guys too, is I know the end game for you guys. I've been there. So I know where you're at right now, but I also know the next levels. And the next level that my hope and prayer for you, Aubrey, is when you value yourself enough to say, you know what, this is how I do business. And I honor and respect if that doesn't work for you. And then, but hold right there. And I'll tell you this, when I started making those shifts in my business, I had some nerves and stuff around it, but I was just fed up. Right. And I'm like, I'm done. And we had done well. You guys, I know you've done well. You have money, right? There's a point in time where you have to take the next leap up, that it's like you're valuing your quality of life, that you're valuing your, every aspect of your life. And you say that I've made a switch. Every single client, I do a face-to-face on Zoom meeting. And this is what we do here. Here's the link. I'm free for 15 minutes from 1 to 1:15, and hold it there. And then when it happens where you lose somebody on that and somebody kind of rips you a little bit, you hold. It does not affect you anymore.
Yep. Aubrey, the big shift I made with mine is I tell them on my initial call why it's great. I mean, I say, you know, have you ever heard of Zoom? When I say, I do Deryck's whole doctor thing, and, you know, I want to explain it to you, and don't want to be looking at lab results, you don't know what they are, that whole thing. And then I say, when I go over these numbers, I like to do it on a site called Zoom. Have you ever heard of Zoom? And almost all of them say no. And then I just sell Zoom. I'm like, it's awesome. We use technology so that you and I can have a face-to-face meeting, and you don't have to leave your office and drive all the way to Weddington to meet me. And so they're like, oh, that sounds great. So that was one shift I made. I sold them on why it was awesome. And then for me, it was a mindset shift of, if they're not going to meet me on Zoom, I'm probably going to lose them anyway. So I'm not even taking the time.
That's how I was.
Yeah.
You know, like if they won't meet with me, then I'm probably not going to get it anyway. So, I mean, maybe I would, but it was a time investment thing for me that helped me kind of navigate through that.
The other thing that, and even Jenny, maybe see if this helps you a little bit too, is the other reason why I'd say that this is what we do. This is how we do this. We do this because then I could set the boundaries and the timetables with them on that call too. So now I'm able to say, so here, because of government regulations, I need all this back to you in 48 hours. I'm going to put Phil on right now. He's going to help you out. Is that a problem for you? And if you can get an agreement, I do it with you guys still right now. Do you see how I start everything with an agreement? Like the shift for all of you guys too is having agreements with people. And if people do not honor your agreements, it is not good for you to be in business with them. It's just not. Anything less is a codependent relationship that's going to hurt you.
And that probably goes to my second piece of that is setting boundaries. Absolutely.
See? Right. It goes exactly to that.
Yeah.
And then setting boundaries, Aubrey, like, again, that's what I kind of heard in the first one, comes first from you honoring yourself.
Right.
It comes from you first. It comes from you. That's always my sense. Let me talk to Aubrey like nobody else is in the room. But Aubrey, my sense with you always is whenever I'm around you, like even what you did like at Elevate, you know, you sat there and you hung. I'm like, this person is an unbelievable person that doesn't really know it. That's always, I walk away every single time that I have every single time that I have any interaction with you, I'm always like, God, she's awesome. And I can't understand why she doesn't know it. Every single time. That's my thought.
Interesting.
And so it can't come from me. It has to come from you, where you say, not from an ego place that I'm awesome, but I'm going to value this. This is what I want in my life. And I'm okay. I'm okay not being everything to everybody.
Yes.
That's rough, isn't it? Hard to hear. But I'm okay being not everything to everybody, because then the people, guys, you guys see me do it right now. Like, I cherish and value each and every one of you. But if I was everything to everybody and I didn't set boundaries, I wouldn't be able to do this right now. There's no way. Sure, I'll do one-on-one and still I'm blue in the face, right? I can't do so it has to come from that. It has to come from that you want to be the best version of you when you're working and the best version of you when you're not working. And anything less than that isn't a good life. Is that fair?
Yep.
I want you to chew on that for a little bit. Again, I can get tactical on a setting boundaries thing, but if you don't have the first piece, if you don't have the mindset piece, then it doesn't matter what the dialogues are.
True.
So I'm going to let you sit on that one for a little bit, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys, we got one more. Rick Melville. Anybody else? If somebody else is sitting on one and be like, Deryck, I cannot believe you didn't call me. Don't throw darts at me. Just hit me up later or something, or we'll get the next one. So, Rick Melville.
Yeah, so it's, excuse me, staying in abundance and realizing that some of my best referral sources are not that busy right now. So I'm doing the next right action consistently. I'm just not getting anything back. And I'm trying to balance that out with taking on the new people, you know, doing the videos for listing agents, for example, from closings this month, who now want to see me. And I'm just balancing all of that out, trying to maintain the abundant mindset with the people that I've known for years, some of them a decade plus, who are not even responding. And it may just be likely that they're not busy. And I know I have to understand I can't control their response. I get that, with maintaining the positive mindset and the go get them for the new people.
And there's the work for you to do right there.
Yeah.
It's right there, because you just heard it. You just heard it with Jenny. I just heard it in Shannon. I just heard it in Jonathan. Oh my God, I'm so smacked right now. Right. And so the experience of coaching you guys is, oh my God, I'm so smacked right now. And it can be like a month later and it can be like, Deryck, I'm completely dead. You know, I'm awful. And I'm like, you know, and then that's the experience. That's how we experience you guys. Right. Like in that, I'm just shooting you straight. Right. Like that's how we experience you guys. So the evening out of that is the work for you guys to do, so that when you're slow, it's gratitude for being slow. I'm shooting you straight. When you're slow, it's gratitude for it. Cool, I can get a couple of things done around the house. I can invest a little bit more time in my kids. I can do some other things that I wanted to do. Oh my God, I'm completely smacked. Then it's what the conversations we've had with Jenny and Shannon and Jonathan here. right? Now setting boundaries and not letting that overrun you. That's the challenge for you guys. The challenge of this business is all mental, almost. Yes, there's tactical things, but the level that you guys are getting at right now, the challenge is mental. And I want to encourage all of you guys to keep on that path to improve yourself mentally, because the is of this business is everybody goes like this. They're going to close 100 loans, which is 8 loans a month. And I want 8 loans every month. And I'm like, that's not how it happens though. It doesn't happen like that. It happens like 2 in January, or at least this was me. Like if I was doing 100, it'd be 2, 4, 8, and then May would be 17, and June would be 19, and July would be 13, and then August would be 1, or September. You know, like, and so the key was always a year-over-year number, knowing that that's just kind of the is of the business.
Right. Well, I did take control over some of that. So, for example, tomorrow I'm sitting down for an hour with the BombBomb folks to help coach me through learning their system rather than having to do it on my own, because I don't have that much booked for tomorrow. And also to maintain some control, I set up a wind down Wednesday for Realtor partners. And I invite them to the next right action, invite the right people every 4 days. So ideally, they'll understand that and they'll start RSVPing, and we'll have fantastic attendance between me and the attorney group.
Yeah, and this is being recorded, Rick, and I will be playing this back to you next month when you get on and be like, dude, I'm so busy.
Cool.
So just remember that too, okay?
Yes.
Awesome. You guys are doing fantastic. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. If I did not get to you, I sincerely apologize. You can hit me on Messenger if you have something that's completely present. If not, I will see you guys soon. You guys have a great Thursday.